Good morning. It's Monday, February 1st, 2021, and I hope you remembered to say rabbit, rabbit this morning. um, so today is the first day of my new project, and I am going to be doing this project in a way that is very similar to the way that I do NaNoWriMo, except that instead of writing 50,000 words in 30 days, my goal is to write 120,000 words in the 90 days. So this project will take me through February, March, and April. And I'm aiming to write between 1,500 and 2,000 words a day. And if you know your math, you'll know that that means that I'll be actually writing more than 120,000 words if I write every day. But unlike NaNoWriMo, I am not going to do a lot of writing on the weekends for this. I'm going to take weekends as my rest time and to relax and have fun. And I can also move things around. So like today, we're getting dumped on with snow. So I'm going to assume that I'm going to be spending a good chunk of the day doing snow. And so that takes care of that. Coffee is so wonderful. So, my science fiction novel is about a bunch of humans going off into space somewhat accidentally. And I don't want to talk about the plot because it's actually a unique enough idea that I'm hesitant to share it. And this is the first time I've ever had an idea that I felt was unique enough to actually not talk about it. So I'll probably talk about characters and plot development and things like that in very generic terms as over the next 90 days, but I don't actually want to tell you guys about the details because I'm wicked excited about where it's going and my co-author and all of the stuff that's going down. So I'm just going to kind of let it go. What I did do with this book that I haven't done with others is a metric ton of planning. Because I'm working with a co-author, I don't get to just word vomit on the paper. I have to actually account for his writing in addition to my own and for the things which he'll be helping me with. He's my military expert and my science expert because I'm not great with the science part, but I have a wonderful idea. And he's great with the science, but doesn't have the idea. So the two of us working together is actually a very good thing. So I started the Odyssey today. I have 1,600 words on paper, and I'm very pleased with that. It was a good start to the day. I got it done in just about an hour, and that felt really good. But I also did like a prep for an hour beforehand, and I did a little bit of trolling with Facebook this morning because I could, you know. But it feels good to get started on this project. I feel a lot more up about this project than I did about the fantasy novel, actually. For all I was excited about it, I had a lot of problems pulling it together, and I may have to go back and just sort of rewrite the whole book and just pull it together in a completely different way, which is both happy and kind of frustrating, but, it happens. Welcome to Writing 101. So, one of the things that I've heard people talk about in some of the writing forums that I belong to is the idea of what do you do when you run out of ideas? And my answer to that is you keep writing. And I know that sounds like really smarmy, very zen, not real. Oh, well, you're just a successful author. So, no, I'm not. And I have those days too. But the answer is that there are days when I worked as a telephone operator and I didn't feel all that inspired there. And yet I still went into work and did what I had to do. And it wasn't inspired work, but at least I got something done. The same thing is true of writing. Okay. The secret to writing, and I hear this from not just from me, but from, Stephen King and uh, Robert Heinlein and just so many, all of the big names. Just write. And I'm sorry that it sounds like it's sarcastic, but it's not. Okay. If you don't know what to write on a given day, either pick a different part of the book and start writing that, or write random crap. Make something up. Okay. So I want to give this to you. I was writing about um, Alex in the first book, and I ran into a section where I did not know what to do. I really didn't. I reached an impasse, and I sat there staring at the blank screen for like an hour. And you can't do that during Nano. There is no time. You must write. So I finally took my own advice and I just wrote. What I did was I gave Alex a teddy bear and I wrote all about this teddy bear. Okay, it was the most completely pointless, and I'm going to be blunt here, crap. And you'll note it was not in the finished product. Okay, you're not going to read about Alex and her teddy bear in the book. But the bottom line is I sat and I wrote and I got words on the page. And the fact that it did not make the cut at the end of the book does not matter. What matters is that I kept working. And that's what you need to do. And I know how, like I said, it sounds really terrible. And I hated it when I was younger. And people were like, well, how do I get writing? Well, just write. Well, that's like, so freaking useful. Thanks. But it is. And it's literal. And I literally mean write anything. It doesn't matter. If you want to write a letter to your boyfriend, if you want to write a grocery list, sit down at your appointed writing time and write. Every day that's your appointed day. Okay? Since my grandson is no longer here, I am back to writing in the mornings. So I have my internet fun time till about 10 a.m. And then from 10 until noon, I write. And if I don't feel like writing, I write anyway, because that's how you get it done. I think I put it up as a quote on my webpage at one point. You can't edit an empty page. You can always edit something that's crappy, even something that's really bad. If there's nothing on the page, you can't even edit it to make it better. Go write something. Really, truly, write anything. So, yeah, that's my big thing for the day. My cookbook is doing wonderfully. For those of you who didn't know, the hardback version is out. The ebook is out. So the prices are now $19.99 for the soft cover book, $29.99 for the hardcover book, and I think it's $4.19 for the ebook. And I don't really get to set that price because I chose to use the Kindle special whatchamacallit. I don't understand how it all works, but it lets people borrow the book. So it's not that expensive. If you have a yen to read it, it's there and it's available, and I hope that you enjoy it. I would love to get more reviews. I think I have 31 or 32 reviews at this point. I'm so close to 50, and 50 is a magic number for authors on Amazon. So please, if you have read the book, go in and review it. I am dying to hear what you thought about it. I'm dying to hear your words of wisdom about, things I did well, things that could be improved. I do read all of the reviews and I do take them to heart. So on Friday, which is the 5th of February, I am going to be on WMUR's New Hampshire Chronicle. That's Channel 9 for those of you who are in New Hampshire. If you go to the WMUR website and look up WMUR New Hampshire Chronicle on Google, you will find them. You can watch it even if you're out of state. and you'll get to see me cooking over an open fire and presenting a chicken stew. And the interview that I had with Karen, the lady who did the interview, was absolutely fantastic. I had such a good time, and the gentleman that they had come over to do the camera work for me was incredibly great to work with and very appreciative of being foisted with stew afterwards. I think he was surprised, but I'm like, I just made this massive pot of stew. Of course, you're going to eat some. Here, I'm handing him bowls of stuff with fresh bread. And I have to say, there's a certain level of joy when you decide at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the day before you're going to be on video, gee, I should bake some bread for this. And you do it, and it turns out perfect. I mean, spot on perfect. I think it was the prettiest loaf I have ever managed to make, and it came out beautiful. It rose nicely. It was good and hearty, and it had nice nutty flavor. I used a lot of spelt in it, so yeah. Oh my goodness. The good thing about New Hampshire Chronicle is they edit, so you don't see me yawning. Although I was outside. Now you'll note if you watch the video, you'll see me. I'm outside, and the temperature was in the 20s. And I'm just wearing my dress and mittens. I didn't have my cloak on for most of the day because I was warm enough. But you have to remember that I was wearing all the proper medieval layers, and I did cheat. I had my waffle weave pants on because my legs get cold really fast. And unlike medieval people, I don't actually have wool socks that come up past my knees. They would have had wool socks that were cut to their feet that came up to attach to the bottom of their corsets or their underclothing, and I didn't have that, so I cheated and used waffle weave. But other than that, I had on my modern underwear, and then I had on medieval underwear. I had an underdress, I had an overdress, and then I had a fancy dress on top of that, and then my apron. I was toasty. I was wearing the overdress I was wearing is kind of a beigey gold color, and it's actually a raw silk, and it's incredibly warm. So when you see people in medieval pictures and they seem to be wandering around in the snow with nothing on but their dresses and maybe a little capelet, that's why they had so many layers on. It's crazy. I did not wear my veils, but I did have my coif on. Again, the leading cause of death amongst medieval women was burning, and I really didn't wish to join the crowd in these modern times, and so I avoided the flappy things to make sure that I didn't set myself alight, because while it would have made good news, it's not the kind of news I want to make. I had another library event on Thursday last week that went very well, and I hope to have some coming up in the future. And I hope things go well with this book. Maybe if you guys are lucky, you'll get to see a new fictional book out soon. Yeah. So yes, just write. I'm sorry it's smarmy, but do it. And if you have questions, come see me on my Facebook page. That's kind of where I'm easiest to get a hold of. I try to answer fairly rapidly on there. And don't be afraid to page me and send me an email. Check out the website. Go check out my books. I have Bloodstone out. I have Bloodwater out. The third book probably will come out in a couple of years, and we'll see where we go with all that. All right. Well, you guys have yourselves a great week. Enjoy the oncoming snowstorm. I'm about to go put on all of my various modern warm clothing so that I can go out and be ready to blow the snow when it comes. Be safe out there, okay? I don't know if this is the light, fluffy stuff or if it's heart attack snow, so please take it easy. There's no rush. Nobody's going anywhere tomorrow. If it dumps 14 to 20 inches on us, none of us are going anywhere, and it's COVID. Call out, okay? Just be safe. Really and truly, just be safe. I love you guys. Drink the water, eat the food, get some sunshine. Get some fresh air. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe.